know, this is the third year that I have had the pleasure of emceeing this wonderful event with Dennis Hendricks from Tuolumne. Part of what brings me back each year is the opportunity to experience a day of celebration with all of you here. It makes me so happy to see so many of our Native people, fellow chairs, tribal councils, tribal community members, and elders and veterans. Thank you so much for being here today. So now I'd like to invite Dennis Hendricks back up to the podium. Dennis?
I'm proud to introduce a tireless advocate on behalf of all of our communities. She has previously served as Cal EPA's Assistant Secretary of Environmental Justice and the Tribal Governmental Policy, and as Chief of the Native American Liaison Branch of the California Department of Transportation. She has also held the distinction of being a tribal court judge for Shingle Springs Rancheria, and is currently the tribal advisor to the Governor of California and Executive Secretary of the Native American Heritage Commission. I'm also proud to introduce the Chair of the State Tribal Liaisons, the Chair of the Planning Committee that assists the tribal sponsors in this annual event. She also holds a position of Tribal Policy Advisor to the Department of Water Resources. Please join me and give a warm welcome to the Honorable Cynthia Gomez and Anacita Augustina.
Good morning. I just want to welcome everyone here to the Capitol, and I want to say that this event has grown so much over the years, and particularly since Governor Brown has been in office. And there's so many people to thank for all of their tireless work to make this event happen, and it is just such an honor to see so many of our elders, our veterans, our community, and our non-Indian community as well, here to celebrate with us such a wonderful day. I can say so much about Governor Brown, and many of you know his legacy in his first term and in this term, but I would like to mention that this governor has done some things that no other governor would do. He signed the first executive order, B-1011, directing his executive branch to work, all of his agencies and departments, to work with our Native communities. He also has appointed more Native Americans than any other governor to boards, commissions, and positions within the state of California, and more Native American positions that are from California. So I really am impressed with him. And one other thing he's done is he's also supported tribal sovereignty by signing many of the bills that, more bills than any other governor, on legislation that benefit our tribal communities. Most recently, just yesterday, he signed SB 11 by Senator Robert Hertzberg from Van Nuys. And that was a bill that actually took away the sunset clause to provide services to our California American Indian Education Center. So we're very pleased to see that signed yesterday. Another bill he signed yesterday was SB 997 by Senator Ricardo Lara from Bell Gardens. And that bill was to recognize tribal IDs from our sovereign nations for notary publics. A huge plus, a huge benefit to our tribal communities. So I just want to thank you all for coming here, and I'm so pleased that our governor is one of the first governors to come out here on Native American Day to wish us well and to give us an address. Thank you.
Welcome everyone to the state capitol. Good to see you. So what I'm going to do is I have done in the last few years, read a proclamation that we'll officially establish today as Native American Day in California. And here's the official proclamation that is filed with the Secretary of State. California has been home to human beings for more than 12,000 years, with the presence of European Americans representing only a tiny fraction of this time. The first Europeans to arrive in California encountered hundreds of thousands of people, organized into hundreds of distinct tribal groups. They flourished in the bountiful hills and valleys of what someday would be called California. The contact between these first Californians and successive waves of newcomers over 3 succeeding centuries was marked by the utter devastation of the native peoples, their families, and their entire way of life. The colonial regimes of Spain and Mexico, through disease and enforced servitude, cut the indigenous population by more than half. Then the gold rush came, and with it, a wave of new diseases and wanton violence which reduced the native population again, this time by more than 80%. The newborn state of California actually paid for the killing of native peoples and tolerated or encouraged policies of warfare, slavery, and relocation that left no tribe intact. In his 1851 address to the legislature, our first governor, Peter Burnett, famously stated that a war of extermination will continue to be waged between the two races until the Indian race becomes extinct. This must be expected. In spite of Burnett's prediction, California today is home to the largest population of Native Americans in the 50 states, including both the rebounding numbers of our native tribes and others drawn to the Golden State by its myriad opportunities. The success of tribal businesses and the presence today of tribal members in all walks of life stand as a testament to the resilience and indomitable spirit of Native peoples. If Governor Burnett could not envision a future California that included Native Americans, it is just as impossible for us today to envision one without them. Now, therefore, I, Edmund G. Brown, Jr., Governor of the State of California, do hereby proclaim September 23rd, 2016 as Native American Day in the state of California.
This year marks the 40th anniversary of the Native American Heritage Commission. I would like to welcome to the stage Senator Ted Gaines to join me for a special recognition of the members of the Native American Heritage Commission.
Thank you for this opportunity to come and speak to you today. It's an honor. And I'd like to first thank the tribal councils and the various tribal associations for this great opportunity. It's an honor to be here with all of you and experience the rich and diverse culture of the Native American community and what that provides to the state of California. On behalf of the California State Senate, I have the profound honor to present a resolution to Judge Cynthia Gomez for her many years of service on behalf of her community and the state. Judge Gomez's career has been marked by many accomplishments, not limited to serving Governor Jerry Brown as tribal advisor and presiding as Chief Justice of the Shingle Springs Band of Miwok Indians Tribal Court since 2010. Her wisdom and judicial prudence have marked her career as one who eloquently advocates on behalf of tribal people and other sensitive populations. I'm honored to present her with a Senate resolution commemorating her career and commending her for her continued service. Thank you.
I just want to acknowledge Governor Brown again because in his first term, he signed the bill that actually created the Native American Heritage Commission. And the Native American Heritage Commission is the only one of its kind in the nation. So Harvard Law did a review and they found that California had some of the most strictest laws within the nation to protect cultural resources. We have a long ways to go, but I'm really proud that this governor, in his leadership, heard the people of our communities to create that important agency that continues its 40 years to protect cultural resources in our community.
I have to add one more note. Back in 1974, when I was running for governor, the current governor, Ronald Reagan, proposed to build a new governor's mansion out in Carmichael, right adjacent to Indian burial grounds. And so I joined with my new Native American Marie Potts, who many of you may know. And Marie Potts and I joined in a lawsuit, Brown and Potts versus Reagan. And the point of the lawsuit was to stop that mansion from being built near Indian burial grounds out by the American River. Well, I argued that instead of building a new mansion there, they should fix up the old mansion where 8 governors had lived downtown. Well, I lost the lawsuit, but when I was elected governor, I refused to live in that mansion that had desecrated Indian burial grounds. And finally, the state sold that mansion to somebody else. And they took the money and they put it in a bank account for over 20 years. And I took that money 2 years ago and fixed up the old mansion where I'm living today, proving we never need to build a new mansion on burial grounds or anywhere else. The old one is just fine.
Thank you, Governor. That was really a rousing speech. So now we're going to introduce the commissioners. If I can ask them to come on up. Commissioner Marshall McKay, Commissioner Laura Miranda, Commissioner Reggie Pagale, and Commissioner Mary Lopez Keefer. And now I want to ask Chairman Emeritus Marshall McKay to say a few words about the things that the Native American Heritage Commission does for our state.
Thank you. It's my honor and privilege to talk about the Native American Heritage Commission in California today. We are proud to serve the tribal nations in California, trying to uphold the laws that exist, enforce and get those enforced by the tribes and also by the agencies that need to support the law and stand beside us when we're protecting sacred sites, protecting cultural assets of the tribe as being necessary. And I feel confident that we have had the help of the governor and the legislation in doing this and moving forward to make sure that our property and our cultural assets are not damaged without forethought and with consultation with the tribes in order to come to some compromises on how to handle these affairs and to handle this material. The commission is very proud to be at full staff. All the commissioners are Native American from throughout the state, and we represent a high level of concern for all tribal citizens, but especially when it comes to cultural asset protection. We are there for the tribes. We've been conducting AB 52 consultation classes to get tribes to understand the commitments that they have to go through in order for the laws to be effective. So I want to thank my fellow commissioners for their time, for their diligence, and for their input. We've had a wonderful year of meetings and consultations this year, and we look forward to continuing this practice throughout the next year, and as long as we have our commissioners volunteering. So thank you very much, commissioners, and thank you, Cynthia Gomez, for being the executive director. Without you and your staff, we'd be lost, and we really appreciate your help in organizing the commission. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Laura Miranda, and I'm the Vice Chair of the Native American Heritage Commission. And I just wanted to thank Governor Brown for last year signing into law AB 52, and this was the first year it went into implementation. AB 52 inserted Native American tribal governments into the state's main environmental law. This is the first time that this has happened in the state of California. It's landmark legislation, and now tribes have a right at the table in in decisions that concern their tribal cultural resources. So I want to thank you. This is a great pleasure to be able to carry out this work. I do it for my family, my tribe, and all of the communities, Indian communities here in California. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.